the author of Breakup Rehab and also the counselor at Transform Now Counseling. And I have the honor of interviewing Barbara Ames today, world-renowned business coach. And we are going to be talking about how to have a successful business. So, hi, Barb.
Hi, Rebecca. Thanks
So
for
great.
having me.
Yeah, so great to have you. Um, So we're just going to jump right in, and I have a couple of questions I want to ask you. The first is really sort of about your experience. So, um, what experiences have you had in your life that really make you an expert business coach?
Well, I want to thank you for asking that, and it's great to be here. I have actually had several successful businesses, and so I'm pretty much what you would call a serial entrepreneur, and I've learned a lot along the way. And one of the most important things that I learned, and the reason for the direction that I'm taking now in my business, which is to help, mostly helping professionals to make an impact with their message, with their business, to get their word out, and to be successful, more importantly, in their business by getting clients and unlimited supply of clients so that they can actually be successful and impactful. But what happened to me is I found out sort of in one of the worst ways possible what's really important. It is possible to have a successful business. I did for 13 years and not have a life. And I
Yeah.
discovered that when I was lying in the hospital dying. And it was then that I looked back on my life and I realized that although I had, as I said, a successful business and certainly all the trappings of it, I couldn't really point to anything in the last 13 years that I was excited about that I felt was really important. I hadn't done anything the fun stuff I wanted to do. I hardly had any friends, and at that point, I barely had a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And that really allowed me to, sit there and reevaluate what it meant to have a business and how to have a business and still have a life. Because what I believe is that we really can't be as impactful as we would like to be. We can't really go out and help our clients or help other people unless and until we have success, what we deem success in our life, whatever that looks like to us.
Sure, yeah. So just really hearing about, some real powerful aspects as a small business owner or as a business owner, of course, you are dead in the water without clients. So it sounds like what makes you an expert business coach is that you had a long withstanding business that really was able to keep clients coming back, to produce that loyalty, and that some tricks of the trade, but also in personal events in your life, you ended up in the hospital, and entrepreneurs people don't necessarily go through something that extreme, but certainly you hit walls in your life.
I
Um,
know how to, I'll tell you what, I know how to do it the hard way.
mm,
I
mhm.
know how you can have, as you said, a steady stream of clients in your business the hard way and not have a life. And after that event happened to me, I
Mhm.
set on a mission to discover how to do it, not the hard way, how to do it the easy way. And
Mhm.
what I discovered is it's really not that difficult. There's some key things that you need to do,
Mhm.
need to have where you need to place your attention. And
Sure.
once you have that, you can actually rejuvenate your own battery, have yourself a successful, have the time freedom that you need to really live a fulfilling life for yourself. And that in turn makes you a better helping professional to help others.
So the next question I really have for you is that one of the challenges when running your own business is the shiny object syndrome, where it's very easy to begin a project, but then start to hit the hard parts and not know what to stick with and not know how to stay focused. So in your business coaching, how do you help people define what is important and what to stick with versus get rid of?
Rebecca, that is such a really great question. And this is where I see so many entrepreneurs struggling. Is first of all, they don't have that vision. They don't know where to start. And they, as you say, we just spend all our time chasing after these shiny new objects. Oh, I need to be on Facebook. Oh, I have to start tweeting. Oh, maybe I should be going to networking events and we're just not sure, and we're just running around like chickens with their heads cut off. That's a horrible image, but so I think it's really important, first of all, and I'm a firm believer. I'll tell you, one of the things that turned me around, one of the things that changed after I recovered and got out of the hospital, one of the first things I did is get a coach. Because literally, you could spend, I don't think you're going to find the answers in books. You just aren't, because every business, every person is so individual, and every circumstance is so individual that you really need somebody. I know this might sound self-serving, but I found this to be true for myself. I spent 13 years literally reinventing the wheel every step of the way. And it was until about the 11th year in my business that I got a coach, and I probably progressed more in that 1 year that I had a coach than I had in the whole 11 years preceding it, because that's exactly what he did. Is he put me on, he first zoomed out, took a shot of that 10,000-mile view, and then helped me to see where I needed to focus my attention. And it was completely unique and individual to me. I had been trying to figure this out from books, and now you can Google just about anything, and boy, is that a rabbit hole in and of itself, because you can just spend your whole career chasing shiny objects that you've found on Google. And so I think it's really important to get that vision and then know, and then you just have to keep checking yourself. I have to check myself every day. I have new shiny objects coming into my inbox every single day. And so I find myself going down that rabbit hole, and you got to pull back and look at what's important. And I'll tell you one key, I'll leave you with one thing that I think that's really helped me a lot, is I will start every day with a list of no more than 3, usually just 1 or 2 things that are really important that I know I need to work on that day. So every time I open an email or answer the phone or whatever, I'm checking that against what's on that list. And I'm making sure it's sort of like keeping me focused. This is what I really need to work on, instead of all these tiny little details that come up all along the way.
So what I'm really hearing is that part of what you do, given the experiences you have, is you're really able to tailor your approach to whatever client you're working with and whatever industry they're in, versus offering something that's formulaic.
The cookie cutter. And it's not only that, Rebecca, it's also understanding what that person wants, what sort of a lifestyle they're after. So that was the big piece that I learned from my sort of near-death experience, is it's really important to really think about what that vision is. Do you want to create a business that you can do from a laptop in Tahiti? Do you want to have a business that involves a lot of personal interaction with clients? What fulfills you? Do you want a business that just makes you reams of money? I mean, these are all, and there's usually some combination of all the above. For some people, money is not important at all, and it's the relationships that they form that are. For some people, they want freedom. They want to be able to pick up and go wherever they want. So I think it's really important to know that and then tailor the program or tailor the coaching to that person and what they want.
So one of the things that I'm really aware of is in the last like 10 years, there has been just a complete outcropping of coaches in all different directions: relationship coaches, business coaches, financial coaches. There's just a whole genre of life coaching that has happened. So what do you feel really sets you apart from, like, do you offer a key element that maybe other coaches aren't teaching?
You're absolutely right, Rebecca. And I think it's wonderful that there is this whole layer of coaches, and you can get coached on any aspect of your life now that you feel you need that extra help on. And I think that has sprung out of a need. There truly has been a need for people. Like I said before, you can't get everything that you need from books or even from Googling. That you really need a person, a guide, a helper, somebody who's, who knows you, who can interact with you to help you overcome some challenges to get to the next step, etc. And I feel like, the coach that's right for you, there's a saying that says that when you're ready to learn, the teacher will come. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe that when you'll know when there's a person that comes into your life that can take you to that next step, that can help you through whatever lesson that you're learning or challenge you're trying to overcome. And you could literally, I mean, I'll tell you what, I have 3 business coaches right now. And one of the things that I learned, I will never be without a coach again, ever. And
so what sorry to interrupt, but in the diversity of working with 3 different coaches, mm-hmm. like what are you drawing from working with different? Well, I want to talk about that, but I want to talk more specifically about what you offer, mm-hmm. in the respects of like how you are different than other coaches out there.
Absolutely. And just touching on where I was going before, I'm getting something different from each coach. From one coach, I'm learning how to become a better speaker, because in my plan, there's a lot of public speaking involved. With another coach, I'm learning more about the internet marketing aspect of it, how to create a sales opt-in page, how to attract people via the internet, and this sort of thing. So what I'm focusing on right now, where I find my sweet spot is in helping my clients to build a list very rapidly. So if you're at the point, if in your business where you're stuck is getting clients, then the problem that needs to be solved is getting enough people into the top of your funnel. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that is so the clients are at the bottom of a funnel. So if that's the problem that you're experiencing, is not enough people at the bottom of the funnel, then your problem is that you don't have enough people that don't know you to get to know you at the top of the funnel. The more people that don't know you and then begin to know you that you have at the top, the more people you'll have at the bottom. And of course, in the middle of the funnel is the nurturing, the building the relationships. But you can't build relationships if you aren't being exposed to people that you don't know. So this is the problem that I have found most helping professionals are stuck at, is getting enough people that don't know them to know them. Mm-hmm. And of course, in modern vernacular, in the internet world, what that translates to is a list, right? So it used to be a Rolodex list. If anybody our viewers are older, and now it means an email list. So that is where most people are stuck, and that's what I really help people with, is building that list rapidly of people who, and it's not, I'm not talking about a list of people who don't know you or don't know anything about you. These are people who know you, they've been exposed to you, they resonate with you personally and with your message. And that, now you're dumping them into the top of your funnel. Now you're building the relationship, and the more people you have at the top of the funnel, the more clients you'll have at the bottom.
In some ways, it sounds like really the area you focus on is, of course, twofold. One being just exposure, right, and connecting with the people that will connect to you, and then in doing that, it really helps generate, which is priceless, a sense of word of mouth, right,
Mm-hmm.
like a sense of referral and return. So that sounds really, really powerful, and like something that people who are struggling with getting clients could really use.
Absolutely. In my previous businesses, so I'd say that the main reason I was successful in my other businesses was I just have a real sense of marketing, and that's what you're talking about here, is marketing. And I sort of grew up in my very first business with the internet. And so I became quite the internet marketing specialist. It's something I love, and that's something that so many people now are trying to integrate into their business. I think that they sense the power of it because it's the internet that allows us to reach, like, literally hundreds of thousands, millions of people. Now, most of us are, if you're just trying to network locally by going to networking meetings and maybe giving a talk or a workshop here or there, that's great, and that's one thing. But you have to look at the scope of the number of people that you are actually being exposed to. And what is delicious about the internet is that you can increase that exposure, to the billionth degree and very rapidly. And but most people don't understand how to do it. and that's sort of where I come in, because that's my expertise. So I see so many, one of my funnels, one of the places where I get exposure to people is I teach social media workshops. And I get so many people that come in, and they're solopreneurs, and they're struggling getting clients, and they're thinking somehow that Facebook is going to be the answer to their problems. Oh, I just have to get a Facebook page, and here Barbara's going to teach me how to do it. And certainly I'm delighted to teach them the ins and outs of Facebook, but I always have to break to them the hard news that that's not going to turn your business around, that social media is more a part of the middle of the funnel, the building relationships, and it's very valuable for that. But there are some steps before that you need to take so that you are speaking to a broader audience, so that you're having more people that are hearing you and your message. And that's the first step that you need to take.
Well, I will say, having owned Transform Now Counseling for going on 3 years this May, that it is a steep learning curve, because there are so many aspects to learn, from social media to blogging to face-to-face networking to learning how to run a webinar, and so on and so on. So this is the real value of hiring you as an expert, is that, and you said it yourself, that it expedites the process.
Yeah, I've done it the hard way and the long way, and I have to say I lost a good chunk of my life to doing it the hard way. I really did. And at 55 years old now, I realize I don't want to do that again. I don't wish that on anybody else either. I only wish that people have success in their business, so that they can live a happy, healthy, fulfilling lives themselves. And my strongest belief is that it's necessary that I need to help other people do that, so that they can have the impact. I so believe that we are all born with a purpose.
Yeah.
And if we just waste our time like I did for so long, then that lessens the number of people that we can actually impact, that we can actually help.
So,
And
oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and so the most important thing, and if you do it the way I did it at the end of the 11, 12 years. But if you can just shortcut that process and at the beginning of the journey, have somebody help you see that vision and know the steps and put it all in perspective, and then you can start working where you know you're going to have the greatest impact and accelerate your business that way. I think that's the biggest value that I want to impart.
Well, I just have two more questions for you. And the other one is that a real struggle of small business is the limited income or the limited resources. Several people are just scrapping it and not bankrolling, versus the investment in somebody who is an expert to you. So one of the coaches that are out in the world is Marie Forleo, and she says you can either do it yourself or you can hire someone to do it. So my question is that when is it time to just take the leap of faith and make the investment in the expert?
I think that's an excellent question, and it's one that so many people struggle with. It's that whole bootstrap mentality of, oh, I don't have any money, but I'm going to try to do this on my own. And you just have to realize that you end up wasting more money in the end doing that, right? So how much is 1 year of your life, or 2 years of your life, or 5 years of your life worth? And
Hmm.
how much is it worth to you to create this lifestyle that you're trying to create? What's that worth to you? And what's it worth to you to get that impact, to really fulfill your purpose in life? What is that worth to you? And is it worth 5 years of your life or 10 years of your life struggling and struggling and struggling to try to figure it out? And worse yet, and this is the part that breaks my heart the most, when people feel like they have to bootstrap it because they feel like they don't have the money, and then they give up.
Yeah.
And that is just such a lost cause. That just totally breaks my heart.
Well, I can really hear your passion for this. So that leads me to our final question of the interview. Um, who do you think would benefit from you? Like, which clients that don't know that you exist, but if they had you in their lives, it would make all the difference. Like, who is your ideal client?
I love working with all kinds of business people, entrepreneurs, but I think that I have a very special place in my heart for the helping professionals. So, coaches, other coaches, life coaches, career coaches, therapists, anybody who is trying to help help somebody else. I want to help them help other people, and I can do it very rapidly with I have right now my most popular program is the Rapid List Build program, and it's a 6-month program, and it's very intensive, and it's all one-on-one. And what I do is within 3 months, we take 3 months and just work on building a list. Again, this is a list of people that are resonating with you and your message. And we, within 3 months, you can easily expect that to be from 1,000 to 5,000 people, which you can imagine. Now, if you are speaking, now when you send out a newsletter, or now when you send out your blog or your podcast, you're speaking to 5,000 people instead of maybe, 30, half of which are your friends and family. And so you can understand now you're starting to reach people. And then we take the second 3 months and we work on now selling to that list. So connecting with that list and selling to that list. So you can see within 6 months, you have a lot of people at the top of your pipeline, and now you have a consistent flow of clients at the bottom.
Yeah, so that, I just, having again been through the experience of running my business, I would say that the the wealth I'm talking to today is really understanding how to ask for help and when to ask for it. And the exciting thing is that you are here and ready to help. So
Yes, and how to allocate your resources, because that you're really just investing in yourself.
yeah.
And I think money is the truth of it is that money is a lot more expendable than your time. That is the truth. Believe me, you can find money somewhere, but you can't find another 5 years. If you decide to try to do it yourself and invest 5 years or a year or whatever it is, you can't replace that time.
Well, I certainly know that there's going to be a lot of people curious to connect with you, so we're going to add all the links to do that below. And before we end this interview, I'd love it if you could just talk about what programs you offer and if you have anything new and exciting coming up.
Thank you. I really appreciate that opportunity, Rebecca. So I mentioned my program, the Rapid List Build program, and that's the one that I think is the most popular right now. And with good reason, you can see if you can add 5,000 people to your email list right away, then it sort of ups the game on everything else that you're doing marketing wise. But what I really would like to tell your viewers about is a telesummit that I have put together and am hosting. So as you can guess from my experience, almost dying and doing everything the hard way, I'm very, very, very interested in the topic of how to build a business without sacrificing your life, or how to create time and financial freedom. So what I did is I went out and I found 9 people, 9 experts, really incredibly successful entrepreneurs, and I interviewed each of them in a very express 30-minute interviews on what they did, and it was just amazing. So I've put together this telesummit, and it's these 9 interviews where they share incredible step-by-step processes and strategies for both building the business that creates time and financial freedom, and just being successful in business. So I have mom inventors, I have coaches, I have all walks of life, and that is going to be starting on Monday, February 23rd, and we'll release 1 interview a day. It's really exciting. It's a great thing just to listen, on your headphones when you're working out, or in your car, or on your computer. So I'm really excited, and it's called the Work Less, Earn More Summit. And we'll have the link below, I understand.
Great. Well, again, I just want to thank you so much for your time and for the work that you do in the world. And I just want to say to everybody who took their time out today to watch this, thank you. And that's how we're going to end that. And then I'll add, yeah. No, really, truly, thank you for your time, Barb. I appreciate it. And again, if you want to connect with Barb or me, we're going to add all the links below. So take care and be well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks.